Niccolo Machiavelli has been dead for exactly 500 years. And yet somehow, he's still more honest with you than most of the people in your life. Today, we're going to talk about something he understood better than almost anyone in history. The real cost of being too nice. Because here's the thing nobody tells you growing up. Kindness without strength isn't virtue. It's an invitation. And Machiavelli knew that 5 centuries before self-help books started selling the same idea back to us in prettier packaging. Let's start with what most people get wrong about this man. They think Machiavelli was cruel, cold, a man who worshipped power for its own sake. But that's not quite true. Machiavelli wasn't against kindness. He was against unconditional kindness. Kindness with no boundaries, no teeth, no consequences for those who take advantage of it. In his most famous work, The Prince, he wrote something that still makes people uncomfortable today. He said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Now, most people hear that and think, wow, that's dark. But listen closer. He's not saying, don't be loved. He's saying, don't build your entire strategy on being liked. Because likability can be manipulated, exploited, and taken from you. Fear, when it's rooted in respect, cannot. Think about that for a second. How many times in your life have you been nice to someone, and instead of appreciating it, they used it against you? They pushed the boundary a little further, asked for a little more, respected you a little less. That's not an accident. That's human nature. Machiavelli understood something most of us learn the hard way. People don't take advantage of strength. They take advantage of softness. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Machiavelli lived in Renaissance Florence, a city constantly at war, constantly shifting alliances, constantly full of betrayal. He wasn't writing from some ivory tower. He was writing from experience. He watched leaders who were purely kind get overthrown. He watched leaders who were purely cruel get assassinated. And from that chaos, he drew one conclusion that still applies to your life today. Balance is survival. Not niceness, not cruelty. Balance. Let's bring this into your world for a second. Maybe you're the person at work who always says yes, always covers the extra shift, always takes on the extra project so nobody's upset with you. Maybe you're the friend who never says no, even when you're exhausted. Maybe you're the partner who avoids conflict so much that you've disappeared inside the relationship just to keep the peace. Machiavelli would look at all of that and say the same thing. You have confused kindness with weakness. And so has everyone around you. Because here's the truth most people are afraid to say out loud. Being too nice isn't actually about being good. A lot of the time, it's about being afraid. Afraid of conflict, afraid of rejection, afraid of being disliked. And Machiavelli's entire philosophy is built around one radical idea. Stop organizing your life around being liked and start organizing it around being respected. Liked and respected are not the same thing. You can lose being liked in a single misunderstanding, but respect, real respect, is built over time through consistency, boundaries, and the willingness to disappoint people when it's necessary. This is where Machiavelli's ideas actually become deeply practical, not just historical. Let's break it into 3 real lessons you can use starting today. Lesson number 1, Stop being predictable to people who don't deserve predictability. Machiavelli believed that a ruler who was too predictable became easy to manipulate. The same is true for you. If people know that no matter what they do, you'll always say yes, always forgive, always show up, they will never fear losing you. And what people don't fear losing, they don't value. Lesson number 2. Kindness should be a choice, not a default setting. There's a massive difference between someone who is kind because they choose to be, and someone who is kind because they don't know how to be anything else. The first person is respected. The second person is used. Machiavelli's advice translates perfectly here. Be capable of both warmth and firmness, and let people know you're capable of both. Lesson number 3. Protect your reputation more than your popularity. Machiavelli spent enormous energy warning rulers not to appear weak, not because appearance is everything, but because perception shapes how people treat you. If you're constantly seen as the person who can be pushed around, that perception becomes your reality. But if you're seen as someone with standards, someone who won't tolerate disrespect, people adjust their behavior around you instead of the other way around. Now, I want to be clear about something, because this is where a lot of people twist Machiavelli's ideas into something ugly. This isn't a call to become cold. It's not permission to manipulate people or abandon empathy. It's the opposite. It's a call to protect your empathy by making sure it isn't constantly exploited. Because burned-out kindness eventually turns into resentment, and resentment is far more damaging to you and to the people around you than healthy boundaries ever could be. Machiavelli understood something that modern psychology has only recently caught up to. People don't respect those who have no limits. They respect those who have limits and choose, deliberately, when to extend grace beyond them. So the next time you find yourself over-explaining a no, apologizing for having a boundary, or shrinking yourself just to avoid conflict, ask yourself the question Machiavelli would ask. Is this kindness, or is this fear wearing kindness as a disguise? Because real strength isn't about being harsh, it's about being deliberate. It's choosing when to bend and when to stand firm, when to give and when to protect what you've built. That is not cruelty. That is wisdom that has survived 500 years for a reason. Machiavelli wasn't teaching people how to be villains. He was teaching people how to stop being victims of their own good intentions. So be kind, but be kind on purpose, not out of fear. Set boundaries, speak clearly, protect your energy the same way you protect the people you love. Because the world doesn't reward the nicest person in the room. It rewards the person who knows exactly who they are and refuses to shrink for anyone. If this perspective shifted something in you, that's exactly the point. Sit with it, apply it, and watch how differently people start treating you the moment you stop being nice out of fear and start being kind out of strength.